All right, guys, welcome back to the official podcast, guys. I'm with my host here, and we're going to break down some really awesome topics in this podcast. We came prepared. We actually have some really good insight we're going to bring to you guys. So how you doing, man? How's it going?
I'm doing good, bro.
What podcast is this? 3? 2?
I think so. It's three, I think.
3. Sheesh, man. That's crazy.
Yes, sir. You're banging those out there, bro.
I know, bro. We're going to be the next Joe Rogan.
Yes, sir, bro. Daily podcast. Daily podcast.
All right, man. So let's break it down today. So what we got for today? What we got for the audience?
Bro, what we got for today is people looking at our business, bro. People looking at our business. We built this empire, and they want to know, bro, what kind of investment does someone need to start a business? And if someone doesn't have an investment, how do you approach a bank? How do you take out a loan or stuff like that?
So, yeah,
how do you start a business?
That's a good question. So a lot of people are very curious on how much I spent on building these marketing agencies and these companies that I have. I didn't start off with a lot of money. I was a little kid, 18, 19-year-old. And pretty much what I did is there's two ways you could go about it. You could go out there and spend a lot of money to make a lot of money really quickly and just learn from mentors, spend thousands of dollars from mentors, but I didn't know anyone. I wasn't really connected. Or you could go the long way and you could just grind it out and try to trial and error every single thing. Just go through every single phase, the failure phase, the success phase, I wish I would have known phase, all these phases that you have to go through as an entrepreneur. You can negate that if you have a mentor. So that's why I have this mentorship. It's not a plug. That's why I have this mentorship program that, these kids that are trying to start a marketing agency and trying to start $100,000 business, they don't have to go through all the phases that I went through. I can tell you, listen, this is what you're going to run into. This is how to fix that. And then this is how you're going to go ahead and cash flow, make $10,000 a month. So that's how I would do it. But to answer your question, go back to answering your question, I started with maybe $600, $500, max $500, and then we went ahead and, scaled from there. But it took me a lot more time. Let's just say, for example, I had $2,000, paid $1,000 to a mentor, and paid the other $1,000 to building the marketing agency really fast, running the ads, do all the stuff. I probably would have been a six-figure earner way, way quicker. Yeah.
Yeah. So talk to me about credit, bro. Credit. Can you leverage your business to get credit easier or stuff like that?
Credit? Oh, man. Credit. You want to get into credit. The credit's a crazy game, and it's a really tricky game. A lot of people just don't understand it. And the people that don't understand it, they're the type of people to tell you not to buy, not to use, not to utilize your credit cards. They're like, don't use your credit cards. You're going to get debt. And when you get debt, you're going to go, into bankruptcy, all this stupid stuff. Okay? So my personal opinion about credit is you have a debit card and you have a credit card. You have to pay that credit card off in 30 days. And there's a thing called a minimum payment. So let's just say you spend $1,000 on a credit card. By the end of the month, you only have to pay $300. And then you could just keep paying $300 for 3 months, build some credit history, and you don't have to pay the full $1,000 all up front. For the debit card, you're buying a MacBook, let's just say, for example, you have to spend the whole $1,000 all up front. What if you need money? What if you are trying to do an investment and you're trying to make a return on your investment? You have a 90-day window to pay something back, or you have an immediate window to pay someone back. So that's how credit works. You have to, try to figure out a way to pretty much stop paying for whatever you're paying for at that moment in time. That's what credit is. So when people come up to me and say, Ish, should I use a credit card or a debit card or what's the best? Credit card is the only way. But the thing about credit cards is you don't want to go and use all of your credit limits. Let's just say, for example, you got a debit card for credit card for $10,000. This credit card, if you go above 50%, things are going to get really, really tricky because now your credit score is going down. But in my opinion, there's two ways around it. You can use your credit card or you can try to build your credit. Building your credit's cool. But the credit card's made to be used. A lot of people just try to store it and be like, okay, I'll only use 5% this month or I'll only use 1% this month. And they'll try to store it to make their credit report look really, really good. That's a good thing. But eventually you want to kind of use the thing. It's built to be used and, might as well take advantage of that opportunity if you have that kind of credit card. So that's my opinion about credit, how things work when it comes to credit. There's so many different ways to grow your credit. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to LLC hacking and these, if you have a business checking account or just a personal, I don't recommend using it too often. You use your debit card to pay off your credit card. and you use your credit card to pay for your expenses. That's how it works. And then you have that little 90-day window to pay that credit card back, and it's just so much more, better. Like, you have a clear of mind knowing that you don't have to pay that card for like a while. You're like, okay, that's good. That debt's there, but it's not gonna hit me too hard.
Other than that, I want to know, is loan and taking a credit like similar? And I feel like taking a loan or a credit is like a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
If you make money, you can pay it back. But if you don't make money, there's
three type of loans.
From there, yeah.
There's a house loan, a car loan, and a personal loan. Loans look really good on your credit report when you paid it off. But when you're actually in the middle of paying it, it's kind of like, okay, this guy got some debt, can he handle it or not? You got to show your true colors to these credit report, bureaus. So when it comes to loans, like I said, there's house, car, and personal. So it all depends on what you're taking out. There's a bunch of companies out there, like for example, creditstrong.com, that goes and lets you take out a personal loan, but you pay $30 a month for 2 years, but then they pay you the money back. So you're just pretty much reporting a good credit history to the bureaus, because they're going to see it. But at the end of the 2 years, the Credit Strong company is going to actually just pay you back your money. So you could even do a $50,000 loan in the span of 2 years, get all that money sent to them, and the Credit Strong is just going to reverse that money after the payments are complete. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's what personal loans are. But when you're looking to get a credit card, there needs to be diversity. You need to have a bunch of different avenues of credit. You don't want to just have a bunch of credit cards and then apply for a new one and then get rejected and they're going to ask why. You're going to have a bunch of credit cards. What you want to do is you want to diversify your portfolio. You want to have a house loan. You want to have a car loan. You want to show that you have a good DTI, debt to income ratio. These are all really important things, especially when you're trying to apply for a new credit card, because they're trying to see, is your DTI low? Do you have some kind of loan? Do you have some kind of lifestyle, some kind of house that you're paying off? Let's just say $1 million house and you're making, $2-3 million a year. That's really good. Anyone and everyone's going to throw you cash. But if you're just a 17, 18-year-old, minimum wage worker, and you have a car loan, and you have some really good debt on your credit cards, you're not going to get paid that much. No one's going to accept you. No one wants to accept you. You're high risk. Yep. And that's what credit card companies are trying to find, the high-risk clients instead of the low-risk clients. I got rejected. The reason I got rejected is because I didn't know that I had a really, a lot of debt, because I bought like MacBooks and stuff like that off credit cards, and I thought I was smart. But then I went to go ahead and apply for credit cards, and I got rejected. And then I kind of figured this stuff out as I went. And it's so stupid.
Yeah. I see you have a lot of credit cards and a lot of debit cards as well. What's the word on that? Just diversifying everything?
So yeah, I have a credit mentor. So like I said, when I got older and I progressed in the entrepreneurship journey, I started getting mentors. So like mentors for things, mentors for real estate, mentors. I started buying courses. I wasn't like this. I was really money hungry. I was like, I'm not going to give my money to no one. I don't want to give my money to anyone. I'm just going to figure out myself, watch YouTube videos. But then when I started investing into like mentors and like people that guided me, opportunities started to open very, very more easy. So now let's just say, for example, I have a guy, his name's Derek Kumo, and pretty much he's my credit mentor, and he tells me what credit cards to get at what points and what is my best and most likely chance of getting that credit card or whatever. So he told me about Credit Strong. There's a bunch of other companies. I don't want to give too much sauce out there. Should I give it?
Yeah, bro, plug some of the homies, bro.
Man.
Some of the homies.
So Divvy.co. If you guys are watching this, Divvy.co. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying this. So Divvy.co, DIVVY.co. GetDivvy.co, sorry. GetDivvy.co. This company will give you a credit card up to $15,000 to $20,000 in limits without you ever having to pull your credit. What pulling your credit basically means is the bureaus or the credit card company is going to check what the bureaus are saying. If the bureaus are talking bad about you, they're not going to give you the credit card. If they're talking good about you and they're like, oh shoot, this guy's actually organized, got his stuff together, then they're going to give you the credit card. But the beauty about these fintech companies, these are like soft banks. They don't allow you, or they don't, you don't need to check all that stuff. What they want to check for is how good is your LLC doing? Because these are all business credit cards, by the way. So if you have an LLC, you're in the right place. Yeah. So if you have an LLC, you're doing, $20,000, $30,000 a month, maybe even $10,000 a month. Your credit report's trash. Mine's kind of like not the best. But what I'm trying to say is, if you have good cash flow coming into your checking accounts and your business accounts, let's just say $30,000, $50,000, they're going to look at you. They're going to look at that and they're like, oh, dude, this is amazing. This guy's an awesome client, because for the last 3 months, he maintained a $50,000 a month income. and that's awesome. I want to give this guy a credit card because sometimes, credit reports don't give the whole story. So what GetDivvy.co does is it actually allows you to apply for a credit card without pulling your credit. And then they look at your last 3 bank statements. And if it's positive cash flow, 10, 15, 20, even $50,000, they'll give you a big corporate card and they'll let you say, hey, go spend this for however much you want. We just need the money back in 30 days. Boom. Yeah. So I use that credit card to fund my Facebook ads. I use that credit card to do a lot of things. So that GetDivvy is like a really awesome platform, and the mentor told me about that. That's free game out there, guys. If you're watching this, free freaking game. This is the best podcast in the game, bro. I'm telling you. I'm gonna give so many little hints like this. And yeah, so now I have my loan that I'm building up from Credit Strong. I have a credit card just in case I need to buy anything. Unexpected if I don't have $15,000, and if it's locked up in my Stripe or my PayPal, I could use my GetDivvy card and just go ahead and pay for whatever I need to pay for.
Are you investing in your property that you're building through the credit card, or are you investing?
So credit cards you don't really use to pay for your properties. Let me explain why. Because it's a really expensive thing. You can't spend $100,000 in credit. Sometimes people don't even have $100,000 in credit, and the credit companies are very, very scary or worried of giving that money actually out to people. So what I did is actually, I went cash. I'll be honest, I went cash. But the normal route is getting a loan that you have to pay a 3% interest rate on. What that basically means is if you have $1 million property, the loan is 3%. So you have to pay $30,000 in interest back to the bank for having that $1 million in the span of about 15 to 30 years. So you just have to pay $30,000 back to the guys for getting that $1 million. But what the principle or what the philosophy is, after the 30 years, you should make way more than $30,000 off your property because of appreciation, whatever, investments, rents, whatever. So what they're banking on is you making more than 3%, and that's how you cash flow for a loan property or whatever that kind of is. The reason I went cash is, first of all, it's an overseas property, so I really can't spend there's not a good loan system overseas. It's kind of tricky. So what I did, I just threw big cash stacks, and I said, "Here, take." Because honestly, bro, the United States system is kind of trash for me. I'm a self-employed entrepreneur. That's a lot of money, and no one's gonna trust me. I'm kind of high risk, as you could say, because I don't have a stable job. I'm not a nurse. Yeah. I'm not a freaking lawyer. I don't have a stable job. I'm sorry. And it's hard for them to trust me. They're gonna trust me soon enough, because when you start having assets, they're gonna trust you more. But the fact that it's hard for them to kind of give me $500,000 for a property, it's a little tough.
Having employees on contracts, having employees on payrolls, and having someone work for you on contracts, does that vary as well? That depending on what you're doing.
So if you're trying to get a loan, okay. So employees and payroll and everything like that, that looks cool. That looks good. It's not gonna really determine if the guy is gonna get the credit card or the loan or not. If your business is filing taxes every year and you guys are showing net positive cash flow, let's just say last year we made $400,000, $300,000, cool, and your payroll shows everything, everyone's getting paid and everything like that, it's good. But that's not really the real reason or the real way to actually get a loan off a property. And a lot of people that are watching this don't have a business like me or have a business like a marketing agency that's doing hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. So what pretty much the audience needs is a way to do that without having a business and payroll. Eventually, I want all my audience to get to own a business and do all this fun stuff. But till we get to that point, we need to kind of figure out ways to do it without that.
Absolutely, bro. So I've been scrolling through, social media daily. I see a lot of, these gurus posting, Instagram posts and stuff like that of get a car for free. But I was scrolling through my Instagram and, I see this Ish mentorship post, get a car for free. And that got me, that piques my interest, bro. How do you get a car for free?
Okay, I lied. You don't get a car for free. But there's a lot of ways to limit the cost of a car and potentially get it for the same amount you paid for it. That's the right way to say that. So if you're looking to get a free McLaren or a free Lamborghini, good luck, buddies, because it's not going to happen for free. You need to pay the initial principal amount of the car.
Either Mr. Beast comes and gives you the car, or
just unless Mr. Beast comes into your house, knocks on your door, says, "Hey, bro, here's the whip keys. Go have fun. Go take it for a spin." then I mean, okay, you made it. But if until then, until proven otherwise, don't try to convince me. I paid for courses. I have mentors that are doing this, and like I said, I love my mentors. They're really cool. I kind of hate the guy right now. We're in a bad situation. The car mentor guy. We're supposed to go into a business together. He pulled out last minute. I'm like, dude, what the freaks? What are you doing? Anyways, I'm not gonna throw anyone under the bus, but pretty much car hacking. So let me explain how car hacking works. Here we go. Okay, so I'm so excited to talk about this topic. So a lot of people are trying to go out there. First of all, if you're 18, just skip this part, bro. It's not for you. If you're 18, 17, and you're trying to get a Lamborghini or McLaren, good luck, buddy.
Start a YouTube channel, like a Fortnite channel.
This isn't for you, buddy. Okay, unless you're making millions of dollars, maybe it is for you. We'll see.
Maybe some Arab prince watching this
exactly,
video, bro.
Maybe some freaking prince
bro,
of Dubai.
I have 4 McLarens. What you're talking about?
Yeah, but okay. So the normal, average individual. If you're trying to get a McLaren or you're trying to get a Lamborghini, first and foremost, like I said, credit is everything. Your credit is your reputation, your financial reputation. So if you don't have a good credit report or good credit history, you're not getting this car. And the same thing that they're looking when you're getting a credit card, they want to see diversification. Do you have a house loan? Do you own a house? Do you own a business? Do you own a property? Do you own other cars? Have you owned other cars in the past? Have you owned other cars that are similar to what the one you're buying is? Is there like similarities in what you're doing? So they're gonna look at that. So if it's your first time, it's gonna be a little scary. Next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna shop the car. So you're gonna find the car that you want to get. Personally, what I would recommend is do not buy the new cars, the 2021s. Go for the 5 to 4 years later older models. Don't go for the new ones because they're gonna depreciate as soon as you hit the lot. So as soon as you get off the lot. So what I would personally recommend: 2017, 2016 McLaren, 570S, Lamborghini Huracan, 2015. They're the same thing. They're really the same thing. I swear.
I feel like the older models are even better.
The older model is the same thing as the new one, honestly.
It's really,
so the 5-year difference is not a lot. Unless, they did a face change and then you're screwed. Because then if it's a face change, everyone knows you're riding an older model.
Yeah.
So what that basically means is you want to find a car that's seen, maybe 50 to 60% of its depreciation already. So the car is worth 400,000, 300,000. You could probably swoop it up for 200,000, and then 200,000 to 150,000. You need to really abuse that car to get it low, drop the price on that car because it's already seen most of its loss in value. So what I'm trying to say with all this is find a car that lost most of its value, so you don't have to lose more of it because you're gonna drive the thing. So when you find a 2015, 2016 car, you have a good credit report. Now that's when you go ahead and purchase a car. Okay. So do not pay the cash. Do not pay cash. Do not pay cash, brother. Pay off in credit. So now what you're going to do is now you have a $5,000, $6,000 car note. What that basically means is now you have to pay a loan back to the bank saying that I bought this car. You gave me the cash up front. Now I have to pay you off every single month. There's 96 month payments, 72 month payments, 36 months. So you could do it however long you want, 4, 5, 6 year payments, whatever. So once you found the situation right for you, what you could afford on a monthly basis, now this is where the fun comes in. Now you have the car. It's not leased. Do not freaking lease a car. Do not lease a car and expect to make money off it. Or do not lease a car expecting to actually have fun of it, enjoy it. The people that are leasing cars are mentally retarded because you have a limitation of how many miles you could drive the car every year. Let's just say it's $1,000 a month, 1,000 miles a month. This is going to hurt you because 1,000 miles a month is nothing. You go into the grocery store a couple of times. You're going to pick your brother up a couple of times. You might go to the mall here and there, and you might go to downtown LA, and that's it for the month. That's literally it. 1,000 miles is. You should know how much 1,000 miles is.
Yeah,
that's nothing.
It's nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. So if you're trying to get a lease on a car, don't.
Yeah. If you live in like a bigger state like Texas, bro, like 1,000 miles is nothing,
you're
bro.
done. You're screwed.
People drive 1,000 miles a day, bro.
You're screwed. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is do not lease a car. Get the actual car. Own the car. Okay. So you could sell it back. The lease you have to pay it off in payments, and then you could just return the car. What fun is that? So what I'm trying to say is now you have the car in your possession. You have the car note, $5,000-$6,000 a month. And now this is where the fun begins. You go ahead and start brokering it out to car rental agencies. You don't rent it out, okay? You don't know anything about car rentals. You do not know anything about car rentals. I don't know anything about car rentals. You don't know anything about car. No one knows anything about car rentals. It's a whole game. You have to kind of be in it to know it, okay? I have a mentor that's going to teach me things, but you might not have a mentor. So what I would do is I would partner up with a brokerage. What that basically means is there's car rental agencies out there. There's thousands of them in Miami, New York, California, everywhere. So what you want to do is you want to find an agency that will, accept your, car and be like, hey man, I own this car. I would love to, go, 50-50 on it, and rent it out with you guys. What do you say? You're going to get rejected 90% of the time, but that 10%, they're going to say, okay, maybe we'll do something about it. So you don't have to rent out the car. You have a experienced car rental agency that literally has all their car insurers, all their cars are insured. Your car is going to be insured with them, and all you have to do is just give them 50% of your revenue. And that may seem like a lot, but you're doing it way more simpler until you figure out the game, until you have more understanding of how things work. You become buddies with the broker. You become buddies with all the guys, and then, okay, listen, you got to get the PPI, you got to get this, you got to get the insurance, this is how you get the insurance, this is what insurance you get, blah, 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 blah. Now you know the whole game. Now you don't have to brokerage with them, or you don't have to go, 50-50 on them. Now you can do it your own way. But the beauty about the car agency is they have clientele. Every time someone hits LA, they're getting 1,000 calls, pretty much, hey, bro, I need a Lamborghini for the night. What's up? Boom. You got the car rental. Yep. They don't know Joe Smith from freaking, California, from freaking,
Santa Monica,
West Hollywood. Yeah. They don't know Joe Smith and who owns a Lamborghini. Where are they going to find that Lamborghini? Turo? Rent your car on Turo, see what happens, buddy. So listen, long story short is you rent it out with a brokerage. You go partner with a broker. Hopefully you know someone or know that guy. Or maybe ask around, how other people are renting out their cars or how are they doing this. You could do a bunch of really cool things. Airbnb is a cool way to rent out your car for a couple hours for photo shoots or just, race around the track. I seen this guy, he's charging like $400, $500 to race a Ferrari three laps around the track. That's maybe 6-7 minutes of a time that you're using the Ferrari for $500. I'll take that any day of the week. Because you're literally spectating, managing the operations. It's a track. It's not traffic or anything like that. So it's way more better. So that's just an example. Also, what I would personally do is I'll put on Turo, but I would only do it to guests that have a 5-star rating. People that are really high up there. The scary part about Turo is their insurance is trash. Like if someone crashes your car, wrecks your car, you're getting screwed over. You're the one getting screwed over. The guy is kind of safe because he doesn't kind of have to pay. I mean, he's going to get an invoice sent. He's not going to pay it, though. He's a freaking broke guy. He just rented your Lamborghini for the night. And then he crashed it, and then he ghosted. He deleted his account. Now what are you going to do? You're going to wait for a freaking 2 years for the credit report companies to damage his credit, and then he still doesn't have to pay it? You don't go to prison because of this kind of stuff. So long story short, rent it out to the right people. You rent it out for 5, 6, let's just say 7 days out of the week or out of the month. You're making your money back, but it's a scary process. And what you're banking on is when you sell it, because you have to sell these cars. You can't just keep them. Yeah. You have to sell these cars. So once you sell these cars, you're hoping to actually just make your money back, and then your rentals should pay for the depreciation for you. So the rentals pay for your depreciation. And then whatever your car is worth at the end of the depreciation, you sell it to someone else, and then you dump the car.
Mm-hmm. I hear this whole game plan, bro, and I'm thinking, bro, this might be applicable to other things as well. So, do you have any game for other things as well, like a house? If you want to buy a house for free?
Yeah, house hacking is really cool. I've house hacked for a very long time, but I did it the right way. I did it short term. There's short term house hacking and long term house hacking. I'll explain both of them. So which one do you want to know first?
The short term.
Short term. Okay, so
no, which one did you not do? That one.
I didn't do long term, but I did do short term. But short term is kind of easy. I'll explain both. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So long story short, I'll make it as concise as possible. So house hacking is pretty much you are living in a spot, in a house, in a room for free, and you're making other people pay for that specific rent, mortgage, whatever. So what I would personally recommend, there's a bunch of weird, stupid house hackers out there saying that, oh yeah, just get an FHA loan and then you could, get a duplex. I'm like, dude, you're so retarded. First and foremost, a FHA loan is a single family residential. You're living there is pretty much what you're saying. You're gonna live there, and you're only gonna live there. And you're not going to rent it out to investors or renters and clients and all that stuff. You're going to live there, and that's why you're getting this loan. That's why the government made this kind of loan system. So, dude, shut up when you're telling me that you're trying to get a duplex, a triplex, multi-unit.
Trying to go like around the law, bro. Like, yeah, you just gotta say yes.
You can't get this kind of freaking loan with a duplex. Half of the people don't know what they're talking about on TikTok. They're so retarded. I literally lose brain cells watching these TikTok videos. So what I was saying is, let's start with short term, okay? So what you want to do is you want to find a group of people that are, you know, trying to find a place to live. You know, I have Instagram. I just literally post a screenshot of the house. I'm like, hey man, looking for people to move in with me, blah, blah, blah. If you're interested, let me know. And then I find, you know, 4 or 5 people that are down. And then the room or the house has 6 bedrooms. I'm living in one of them. The other 4 or 5 people are paying for the house for me. So a perfect example of how I did this is there was this house in La Habra Heights. It's in California. And what I did is the house was about $6,000 in rent. Mm-hmm. And I had four people that are pretty much living with me, kind of, I guess you could say roommates. Mm-hmm. I took the master, and then all the other 4 people pretty much paid for the rent. It was $1,500 each. And then each of the person every month paid the rent. And I literally lived in a mansion for free in the master bedroom, and I didn't have to do anything. These are all cool people. They're all my friends. We shot TikToks together. We hanged out, chilled, and I was pretty much living there for free, completely in no expenses to me. And I actually rented out the house the last day before we left. It was July 3rd, I think. And the house, we rented it out to $500. So I actually baked money off the house. So I made $500 plus for living there. So you can't get better than that. So, but to get to the point where you could get a house like that for $6,000, it's hard, because what you have to do is you have to go to Airbnb. Okay, this is the game. I'm giving it out. You got to go to Airbnb, go to contact host. There's a place to directly contact the host of the house without actually having to book the house. So you could contact 100 homeowners a day until someone bites. Someone will bite. There's always someone that's going to bite because they're desperate, they need money, whatever, COVID, whatever. I don't even know, some BS. Someone's going to bite. And when they bite, you capitalize off that the opportunity. You get their phone number, you call them, hey, I'm a low risk client, I'm a low risk person, just came to LA, need a place to stay for a couple of weeks. I saw your house on Airbnb, love what you're doing. I don't want to pay the Airbnb fees. I know you don't either. I'm talking to the client right now. Yeah. I don't want to pay the Airbnb fees. I know you don't either. Cleaning fees are ridiculous. How about this? I'll pay you, 15-20% less. Actually, start with 30. I'll pay you, 30% less of what you're asking for. Don't say this. Give you the actual number. I'll give you whatever the number is. Yeah. 30% less of whatever the number is. And I'll pay today.
Let's just say 10,000. So we just
10,000, and then you're going to 7,000. Yeah. Hey, I'll pay 7,000 today. We could get a contract signed up, and low risk, and you'll make your money, and we'll go our ways. How does that sound? Let me think about it. Okay. And then they come back with the $8,000 offer. So first of all, you got 20% off your house. Yeah. Boom. That's a lot. Yeah. 20,000 off your house. That, yeah. Now you have a six bedroom house. 5 people pay $2,000. You made $10,000. You're walking away with freaking what, $3,000, $4,000, $2,000, whatever. So you're making money off the house and for living there in the master bedroom because you coordinated the whole thing. So there's so many cool loopholes when it comes down to house hacking. I've done this 3 times, and all 3 months was perfectly fine because I just had to find the house. As soon as I found the house, I found the people paid, and then I paid a homeowner, made sure everything was good. And I did it off Airbnb. I didn't actually do it on Airbnb because Airbnb, there's a way to for them to, these people ruined my house, I want $10,000, and Airbnb will be like, hey, give me $10,000. So you don't want to do it like that. So you want to do it off Airbnb as a contract. So you get the contract written up and everything like that. So every specific homeowner has a different way of doing it. Don't get scammed, because if they're asking for a very large security deposit, the homeowner that was asking for $6,000, I had to pay $4,000 in security deposit, but they paid it back. So I was good. Mm-hmm. But sometimes they might not pay back. I had a time where I was in a penthouse. I was renting out the penthouse. I paid the rent was a lot of money. I don't want to say, I don't want to put the guy on blast, but it was a lot of money. It was a lot of freaking money. But the security deposit, it was about, I would say, half of what the rent was. And I asked for my security deposit back. I never got it back. Yeah, so that's pretty much how the short term works. Mm-hmm. If you're looking for long term, you go to hotpads.com. Hotpads.com. This is a good website to find agents and homeowners that are renting their house out for relatively cheap. I found this really cool Hollywood Hills house for $10,000 a month, and I was like, whoa, that's actually really good. I was gonna rent it out, but I was busy. I was actually doing things here and there, so I couldn't enjoy my time. But Airbnb is a good way, but it's so expensive nowadays. Too expensive Airbnb. You got to find different alternatives. You got to find these hot pads. You got to find these specific homeowners that will do a 1-year lease to for something, whatever. So yeah, you got to find the right house for long term. It's the same process. You pretty much just lowball as many people as you possibly can. One person's gonna bite. You capitalize off that bite. Find the renters that want to rent with you, and just have them pay. Make sure that they're legit. Make sure that they're, you know, kind of friendly. You don't want to get a freaking gangbanger in the house.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you're having fun. You're having fun with the guys. Build a, you know, good family, brotherhood. To this day, the guys that I rent out the house with, they're my friends. I still talk to them this day. We had a lot of fun in the houses, and yeah, that's it. So that's pretty much the long term. You know, long term, you don't have to pay. You're not paying for the house. You're renting it. You know,
Yep.
you're not paying a mortgage, down payment, none of that stupid stuff. You're just renting a house for fun with your friends, and you're living there for free for a year.
Mhm.
I'll do this. I'll do this when I, you know, hit LA for, like, you know, whatever. If I want to hit Miami, you know, I'll get a penthouse, 4-bedroom penthouse, and me and the bros will live there. I'll rent there free, and I'll live there for free. And I can do this anywhere I want. I go to Bali, I'll do the same thing. I'll go to Dubai, I'll do the same thing. Whatever I want to go, I'll house hack because I know how to do it. And I have the connections. You got to have the connections. To find the people that want to rent out your houses, go to Facebook Marketplace, go to your own Instagram, go to your friend groups. Find anyone that's, you know, trying to have some good experience, better experience, trying to get out of their mom's house, you know, probably has a job. They don't want to work. They don't want to, you know, take out mom's groceries or take out mom's trash anymore, or wash mom's car. They want to leave, trying to, you know, become independent. It's a perfect opportunity for them. They don't have to do all the dirty work. They just pay you every single month.
I see your brain training, bro. The knowledge be dripping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like entrepreneurs, if you want to become an entrepreneur down the line as well, you have to be clever first of all. Yeah. So I feel like, how did you get to this point? You know, like being this clever, being this knowledgeable. Do you read books and all of that
Yes,
stuff? Yeah.
I love my books. I don't necessarily read books to understand systems and concepts better. What I do is for mindset and like work ethic and discipline and habits. The thing about books is, you know, the books are always going to be outdated. There's always going to be a fresh new system that no one knows about that you have to go out there and find yourself. You can't read a book on how to run a marketing agency because we change every single day.
Yeah.
Everything is being changed. Every day I'm learning a new system that we're integrating in our marketing agency to make it 10% more effective. And no one knows about this stuff besides me. Because I'm the one that is talking to the coder. I'm the one that's figuring out this little glitch in Instagram. I'm trying to figure out all these specific things to the point where if you're trying to read this from a book, there's a million other people reading the same book, and you don't think they're going to implement the same strategies. You got to be different when it comes to marketing.
Yeah.
But when I read books I love books as a mindset. They teach you how to be a man. They teach you how to be an entrepreneur, how to think like a leader. And a couple books that I would personally recommend any entrepreneur that's listening to this read is Atomic Habits, man. Dude, I just read that book recently. Oh, it's such a good book. The Atomic Habits came out like 2018, 2017. Amazing book. Love the author, man. That guy knows his stuff. And pretty much there's so many concepts in that book. I don't want to go too in detail. We'll go in detail in another podcast.
Yeah.
But this book is just insane, guys. It gives you a really good insight of what the heck's going on in terms of your brain when you're trying to build a habit. Another book that I would personally recommend if you're trying to be an entrepreneur, if you're trying to think bigger than just your mom's your mom's basement, go 10x. 10x by Grant Cardone. A lot of people have a lot of controversy against him. Some people like him, some people don't like him, whatever. That book is the first book I read as an entrepreneur, and to this day it's the best experience I had when reading a book. Such a good book. It just made me think better. Made me think, okay, there's so many more opportunities. What massive action is, how to just think, how to think successfully.
Yeah.
That book really helped me out a lot, and I still recommend it.
I
to
think
this day.
books like shape personalities as well. Do you think like any book like affect your personality, like, you know, like a personal level? Because I've read, you know, like Paulo Coelho's books, a lot of, you know, like The Alchemist, bro. That is a peach of a book, bro. Yeah, that is a peach of a book. Yeah. I read, you know, like Art of War by Sun Tzu. That is really good as well. I feel like these books, you know, like they shape my personality of being, you know, like the quiet observer and observing things around me. And do you think, you know, like a book that affected your personality, like
100%. David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me, and Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willenick. It taught me how to be a freaking soldier. These guys are from the Navy, and they made books. They're not memoirs or anything like that. They're actually leadership books. Books about how to get out of whatever your demons are trying to keep you in. David Goggins. If you guys don't know who David Goggins is, man, get out of this podcast. Go stop this podcast and go search him up right now. David Goggins changed me. Every time I'm in my bed and I'm trying to think, oh man, I want to sleep in, you know, I think of David Goggins running 100 miles in a day. Get up, you mother. Like he goes so hard. And I respect that so much because he wasn't always a hard guy. He was a fat 300-pound, obese guy that just didn't care. And then he turned into this guy. So if that guy could just turn into a machine, I could turn into a machine. If Elon Musk could go turn into a machine, just build these trillion-dollar companies, why can't I? I have 10 fingers. Man has 10 fingers. I have a brain. He has a brain. He might know a little bit more than me, but that's because he's older than me. I need to find out how to get to that point. And I'm going to do whatever I gotta do to get to that point. And I don't care what you say. I don't care how crazy it sounds, but I'm trying to be at that point. And I get it. You're a human. I'm a human. We're competing. I'm competing with Elon Musk. I want to be that guy. There's, I always make this analogy. There's some 15, 16-year-old that's working harder than me in marketing. And he's trying to crush me. Every day he's waking up saying, I'm going to crush Ish one day. I can't let that guy come and take me. I can't let him take me. He's going to ruin. He's going to take everything. He's going to take my computers. He's going to take my podcast. He's going to take my office from me. He's just going to rip it from me. He's going to try to take it from me. That 16-year-old somewhere in the middle of nowhere. He's working. He's hungry. He's hungrier than me. He wakes up with no food in his stomach, and he says, I'm going to go take Ish. I'm going to go smash this guy. I'm going to go get everything he's been working so hard for. And I can't let that happen. As soon as you let your guard down in business, as soon as you get comfortable, oh yeah, CEO lifestyle, I could just chill back and relax, go whatever, do whatever I want, that's when you have a weakness in your company, and that's when someone else comes in and just stabs all your people, stabs all your soldiers, and just bombs you.
I feel like, bro, taking things for granted and excuses, bro.
Yeah.
Excuses is what kills someone, bro. That guy, like this Arab guy, he's inherited money. Yeah. That's why, I can't reach his level. I feel like, bro, if you work hard enough, that inheritance is nothing, bro.
Yeah.
You're both starting, even though he's starting, 2 steps forward in the race, you can catch up down the line. People think, bro, he's inherited this money. Ish, bro, maybe he's inherited this business from his father, bro. Maybe he doesn't know you. I can't reach at that level, bro. I feel like
that's
working hard.
Yeah,
down the line, bro. It won't happen overnight. Work hard. Maybe 2 months in, you're making half of Ish's money. 1 year in, maybe you're making 75% of his money, and one day that point will come. Yeah, but you're at that point where Ish was, but Ish has taken off just because he's working twice as hard as you.
If Ish is working, 6 hours a day, you need to work 12 hours a day.
Yeah,
and then eventually you're gonna get to the point where you're doing so many 12-hour days that you're gonna reach up with 6 hours, and the money is kind of directly proportional with how much time you put in. So if you're putting in 12 hours, you're going to get paid 2x more than I'm going to get paid. That's how it works.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
I feel like we should write a book, bro.
Bro, we should
write down a book, marketing and just,
psychology, bro.
Philanthropy, bro. Philanthropy. Just
actually made Moz read a book. And it was The Psychology of Sales by Brian Tracy.
Sir, bro.
When I'm going to have a kid, I'm going to make him, instead of doing chores for money, I'm going to make him read books for money. Instead of going out to, party with his friends, I'm going to tell him, let's go to this seminar. Let's go to this networking event. Let's go to whatever we're doing, some entrepreneurial thing. I'm going to get him so involved in this entrepreneurial game. He's going to love it. And you're going to pay him for it. You're going to make it fun for him.
I just thought of, I was watching a stream on Twitch.
Yeah.
And this guy, he said that the same thing. His father made him, read books for money. So what his father would do was give him a book for a week. Mm-hmm. Read this book for a week. And after a week, write a summary for this book. And if I see, the summary matches the book, I'll give you the money. Yeah. What he would do is he would play games for the whole week. At the end of the week, go to Google. Summary of the book. Just write that down. This.
Nah, screw that, bro. I'm gonna make my kids or whoever they are, make my people, my students, whoever, make sure that they read the book. I gave you a multiple choice question test, bro.
Still to this day, you don't know how the other guy got 80% of his questions right.
Yeah. Bro. I gave the whole sales team a multiple choice question about the test. I made the questions myself, and I made all of them read the book, and then they had to answer the questions. And it just so happens the same questions that Moz responded to, the other guys responded to the same questions, the same way, the same answers. I don't know. Bro, was it too easy? I don't know. We're gonna
bro, Ish came up to me, bro. I only believe that you read the book. None of the other guys have read the book. Just let me know how did those guys get the exact same answers that you
exactly, bro.
Bro, it's
I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to help you.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm not trying to, Ish is making me read this book. It's for your benefits.
Yeah, totally
trust me. When you read this book, you're going to think about things differently. The Psychology of Sales, guys, by Brian Tracy. Go read that book. It's a really good book, too. So if I was to give you like a top 5, Top 5 books I read. So many good ones. Grant Cardone is just an amazing author, bro. If you read his audiobooks, I don't read books. I listen to audiobooks.
Told me that.
You know, the best books that I personally that pretty much changed me and who I am. I mentioned a few of them already. Crushing It by Gary Vee, such a good book. He teaches you how to provide value and exchange value for just a following. He teaches you how to provide value, how to run a social media marketing business. This man has an amazing media company. Again, How to Crushing It by Gary Vee, 10X by Grant Cardone, You Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. These are such good books. I'm a seller. I love selling. I love the understanding of sales and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So the book that I would read for sales is The Way of the Wolf by Jordan Belfort. Best book of all time. And the 5th book about mindset is The Atomic Habits. These books, if you read these all together, you will understand everything of life at a fundamental level for sure.
Yeah. Let's stop it off with what Brian Tracy says in his book, bro. If you're the best seller in the company, you're the best employee in the company.
Yes,
no one's gonna come close to you, bro. Like that's the whole game, bro. Ish spitting a lot of game. That was the podcast for today.
Guys, it's the end of it. We got MK right here. I don't know what he wants, but he's trying to bug us out. We got business to do. We got things to do. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. Hopefully you learned something here. There's a lot of little hacks in this game. A lot of little hacks in this podcast. So anyways,
more coming, bro. More coming for sure.
We're going to be dropping podcasts every day, bro.
Yes,
we're going crazy with this. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's Ish. Peace.